Hi, Mr. Mike here with another episode of Storytime from the Sherburne Public Library. We'll start out first with our poem, I Can Read. Would you say that with me? I can read. Help me out each time. I can read on a boat. I can read with a goat. I can read on a train. I can read in the rain. I can read with a fox. I can read in a box. I can read with a mouse. I can read in a house. I can read here or there. I can read anywhere. Do you know what today is? It's St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And I have my friend here, Pete the cat. Notice, what color hat is he wearing? Green. And how about his bow tie? It's green too. And his boots are green. So I have a song that goes like this. It's called Name Something Green. Help Pete and I think of something that's green. Green is the color of clover. Green is the color of grapes. Green is the color of the cloth used in making a leprechaun's cape. Green, green, name something green. What can you think of that's green? What can you think of that's green? Cool! Let's try it again. Think of something else that's green. Green is the color of clover. Green is the color of grapes. Green is the color of the cloth used in making a leprechaun's cape. Green, green, name something green. What can you think of that's green? Well, what can you think of that's green? Awesome. Okay, so today our book is in honor of St. Patrick's Day, Pete the Cat, the Great Leprechaun Chase. And we're going to have some special sound effects to go with it by Novel Effect. Pete the Cat, the Great Leprechaun Chase by James Dean. Who's this little guy over here? It's a leprechaun. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day, and Pete's teacher, Mr. G, is teaching about leprechauns. Oh. The only time you can catch one is on St. Patrick's Day. A leprechaun will bring you good luck, Mr. G says. Now everyone in class wants a leprechaun.
I need a leprechaun.
Pete gets a great idea. He will open a leprechaun catching business. St. Patrick's Day comes, and Pete gathers some supplies. He hangs a sign above his stand. This will be easy, Pete thinks. It says, Pete's Lucky Leprechaun Catchers. Squirrel is Pete's first customer. I want a leprechaun, Squirrel says. I need good luck for my test. Cool, I'm on it, says Pete.
Easy.
Pete has a plan. He will follow a rainbow until he finds a leprechaun. Finally, Pete arrives at the end of the rainbow and finds Clover the leprechaun next to a pot of gold. Pete sneaks up behind Clover. Swoosh!
Gotcha.
But Clover is too fast. Did you think you could catch me so easily? He asked.
You'll never catch me.
Once there was a cat named Pete who thought nabbing some luck would be neat. Then he happened upon a smart leprechaun, who he'll find quite tricky to beat.
That's me.
Clover disappears in a puff of green smoke. Pete will need a new plan. That afternoon, Gus visits Pete's lucky leprechaun catchers.
Hey there.
I want a leprechaun, Gus says. I need good luck for my band recital. Pete says, I'll see what I can do. Pete plans to lure Clover out with his music. He plays a jaunty song on his guitar. Before long, Clover dances over to Pete.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little closer, Pete thinks. Suddenly, Clover starts spinning around Pete. Round and round, Clover goes faster and faster. Oh no! Clover wraps up Pete with the rope.
Gotcha.
Pete has finally met his match, a crafty leprechaun he just can't catch. He'll never win, he better give in, or find something else to snatch.
It won't be me. Ha ha ha.
That evening, Callie visits Pete's lucky leprechaun catchers.
Hello.
I want a leprechaun, Callie says. I need good luck for my tennis match. Says Pete. St. Patrick's Day is almost over. There isn't much time left to catch a leprechaun. But Pete won't give up yet. Pete sets a trap for Clover. Before long, Clover tiptoes up to the trap and sniffs the air. I love candy, he whispers, peering under the box. Pete waits very quietly. Crash! Pete rushes over and checks underneath the trap. But it is empty! Clover skips away. Pete has tried many a plot, but still I haven't been caught. And isn't it dandy? I even got candy, while Pete ends up with squat.
All this delicious candy.
Pete has an idea. He follows the trail of spilled candy to Clover's secret hideout. Pete sneaks up behind Clover. Swoosh!
Gotcha.
Pete finally catches Clover. Why do you want me? Clover asks. I'm helping my friends who need some extra luck, Pete says. Luck doesn't come from having a leprechaun, says Clover. You and your friends have each other. That already makes you as lucky as can be.
You're a lucky cat, Pete.
Could Clover be right? Pete is one very lucky cat. A lucky cat doesn't need a lucky leprechaun. He lets Clover go.
Thank you.
Pete decides he will be the good luck his friends need by helping them out himself. Pete helps Squirrel study for his test. Squirrel aces it. Pete helps Gus rehearse for the recital.
Let's rock.
Gus rocks it! Pete helps Callie practice for her match. Callie wins it! Clover magically appears. Good job, Pete, says Clover.
Nice work.
I have one more poem for you. While Clover played hide and seek, Pete learned something unique. The luck that you make beats luck that you take any old day of the week. Happy St. Patrick's Day!
See you next year.
The end. And that's the end of our story, The Great Leprechaun Chase. There we go. Okay. Speaking of leprechauns, leprechauns begins with the letter L. Here's a capital L and a lowercase l. Hey, if you take your left hand, you can make an L with it. Point your one finger straight up and your thumb out, and you make an L. L for leprechaun. Okay, let's sing the alphabet song and find out where L comes in the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Hey, L came right in the middle. L for leprechaun. Can you think of some other things that begin with the letter L? Let's think about it. Let's go look for the letter L. Let's go look for the letter L. Let's go look for the letter L. Way down yonder in the library. Picking up L's and putting 'em in the basket. Picking up L's and putting 'em in the basket. Picking up L's and putting 'em in the basket. Way down yonder in the library. Okay, so here are some things that begin with the letter L. Here we have a lion. Lion begins with the letter L. Can you roar like a lion? Roar! Okay, and this is a piece of lettuce. Lettuce. What color is the lettuce? It's green. Here we have a light bulb. Light bulb begins with the letter L. Ooh, it has spots and it's red. It's a ladybug. Ladybug begins with the letter L. Now, this one's a little tricky. It's got a little hole in it that you put a key, and you can make things safe by locking them up. It's a lock. Lock begins with the letter L. Here's another slightly tricky one. Looks like a limb or a twig or a piece of wood. We would call it a log if it was bigger and you put it on the fire. Log begins with the letter L. Speaking of L, here's our capital L and our lowercase l. Those are all things that begin with the letter L. We also have some books that have L's in their titles. For example, Love from the Crayons. Love has an L in it. The Line in the Sand. Line has an L. I like this. You like that. Like has an L here and here. Here's a fun book about a fire hydrant named Lou. Begins with the letter L. Chloe's Lunar New Year. There's a fancy looking L. Lunar. Ooh, here's another word sort of like that. Luna Oscura. About a black cat. Luna begins with the letter L. And finally we have Dark on Light. Ooh, another fancy L. It's got all sorts of curly cues in it. But it still makes an L. Light. Lots of words that have the letter L in it. Okay, that's all for today. So now it's time to be a teddy bear. But instead of being a teddy bear, could we be a leprechaun? Or we could be Pete the cat. How about let's do Pete the cat, okay? Here we go. Pete the cat, turn around. Pete the cat, touch the ground. Pete the cat, show your shoe. Pete the cat, that will do. Pete the cat, reach up high. Pete the cat, touch the sky. Pete the cat, don't you sigh. Pete the cat, wave goodbye. That's it for today. Have a great day and keep on reading.